Right, let's get to this story. So ahead of mandatory drought restrictions that take effect next Friday, the city of Charlotte is continuing to urge customers to use less water. But our WCNC Charlotte's Nate Morbido, who is here in studio with us, discovered the city has to do its part too. Nate, what did you find out?
Yeah, so I've been taking back a few weeks ago. I received an email from a viewer concerned about a leak that both they and Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools had reported multiple times to get repaired. This is a water leak near Smithfield Elementary School, which is really just next to Quello Country Club, where the Truist Championship is happening right now. And what we were able to find out is that since May of last year, this leak was basically dripping water into the ground and was watering this one part of the field. It's kind of wild when you see the video of it, just how much overgrown it is in one section, seeping in. This is all before the drought, obviously, but when the viewer reached out, they're like, now that we're in a drought situation, why are they not repairing this? How much water have we lost? And so we quickly went there, looked at the site, confirmed the leak ourselves. You could hear it right when you walk up over there. It's not like it's some mystery. When you walk by, you can hear the water dripping, and alerted Charlotte Water, who after a few days went out and fixed it. But the broader issue here is, how often is Charlotte Water losing water? Like leaks, that's part of it. Leaks, when it's on the public side, it's the public's responsibility, not my. Like, if it's on my side of the house, then it's up to me, right? But the rest of the time, that's why ratepayers pay for water in part, because they want their water treated. What we found out is years ago, Charlotte Water used to lose somewhere between 18 and 20% worth of its water every year. Think about that. They treat 100% of their water, and 18 to 20% would not make it to your tap. Partly because of leaks, but also because of firefighting, because of hydrants, because of flushing, maybe incorrect meter readings. But leaks are a part of it. And in fact, when you talk to Charlotte Water, they are urging us, to conserve water, and they say one of the things that's really easy to do is just try to monitor leaks on your property and fix them as quickly as possible. So we know that, higher than the national average, Charlotte's losing water.
Yeah, I saw that number. I was shocked by it.
15%.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the math right here.
Yeah.
But I know that's more than 50 days worth of water.
Wow.
I think we did the math and figured out you could fill more than 10,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools with that much water.
Man.
So we'll talk about why that matters in a minute. But I really do also want to remind people the message that Charlotte Water is sending out. If we can listen to them real quick.
Small changes that we can all make lead to such a big impact in the future and can help to prevent stricter restrictions later. Here at Charlotte, we are working 24/7, 365 days a year. We are really prioritizing leak repairs, especially during this period of time, drought conditions. But as a city as a whole, we are all working to conserve water. One of the restrictions that you'll see is that we're asking people to turn off water fixtures that are not supporting aquatic life. So if you see a fountain out there that's not keeping fish alive, we're asking you to turn it off. We're asking people not to power wash hard surfaces. It's a non-essential function. So those are some things that the city's also doing as well. We're all looking for ways across the board to find and conserve water. I would add that one of the easiest things you could do at home is to turn off the tap while brushing, take a shorter shower, and find and fix leaks as early as possible. Be a good neighbor. Every drop counts.
Every drop counts, right? Every drop counts. We talked about a year here at this location, water was dripping. And let me kind of give you the backstory on what Charlotte Water tells us happened there. They knew about this leak. It was reported back in May 2025. They said they went out there incorrectly, had an initial assessment that said, we think this is a private issue, not a public plumbing issue. And then after we reached out, they realized that, it is a public issue and it's up to us to fix this. We also pulled the data because we were interested, how long is it taking for the city to fix leaks in general? This seems to be an extreme case. Like, this is an outlier.
Right.
For sure, but it's happening during a drought, which is not good. Last year, we were able to find out that the number of service requests really skyrocketed, increased by more than 30%. A lot more leaks, a lot more water main break service requests. And as a result, it took longer to fix them, something around 32 days, more than 4 weeks to fix leaks last year. This year, so far, through the third week of April, that's how up to date the data was, the city's improved. 23 days. So moving a little bit faster. And you
Yeah.
heard her say, look, we're trying to also do our part here and conserve as much water as we can. Now, why should we care about this? Well, number one, if you have a leak, bacteria and contaminants can get in there. So our health could potentially be at risk. So you want to address them quickly. You also have a situation, if their infrastructure is old, of costing more for us eventually. But right now, more than ever, it also limits how much of this resource we have, right? Because we're in a limited supply. So I want you to hear from the Natural Resources Defense Council, their Clean Water, Safe Water Initiative. They really are pushing on the government, top down,
Yeah.
to really prioritize infrastructure like this and to make sure they are monitoring how often they're losing water and to make sure they're really proactively addressing this so that when we get to a drought situation, we're not really at risk. Take a listen.
A lot of people don't know that a lot of the water that's treated and goes into our distribution system never makes it to taps. That's what we call water loss. It's water that is wasted. So that means that we as ratepayers are paying to treat and finish and pump water through the system that just gets wasted. That ends up putting a lot of money on people's bills for their water, and it's not an efficient use of our ratepayer dollars.
All right, so let me just add this, Nick, and we've talked about it before. This viewer reached out to me after that they and other people had reached out to the city, right, to get this leak fixed. I always ask people to, in good faith, try to get this addressed correctly before you get to us. That means follow the right reporting process. I always suggest reaching out to your city council member or your elected official to help put a little pressure on them too. And then if it's still not getting addressed, that's kind of where we fall in, so that things don't fall through the cracks.
Right.
And I was relieved. We just got back from Smithfield Elementary School a few minutes ago, actually, and you can see the pine straw down. You can see that they've clearly fixed this issue, which is good because it was actually damaging the field, this athletic field that belongs to the school too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a microcosm of maybe a bigger issue. Again, this is an extreme case, but nonetheless, if you're asking us to be careful with our water, we should expect our government to do the same.
Well, I was going to ask you that, Nate. I'm listening to Charlotte Water, and correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't hear a lot of accountability from their end. I don't know if you I'm sure you caught that, but I guess I was looking for my bad.
Well, okay, so you're not going to get that. First of
yeah,
all.
I know.
And I kind of give you my process. Like, I requested an interview with Charlotte Water, and they just didn't respond to that request. And so last week, Miles, our coworker, was going to interview them.
Yeah.
And I was very transparent about what we were looking into with Charlotte Water. And I asked Miles to ask that spokesperson a question for me, and he did. And you're going to hear what they told us tonight at 6 o'clock. But the bottom line is not an oops, my bad. It's a, hey, we're working 24/7, trying our best to fix these leaks as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. But I will say, Charlotte Water, in a statement to me, said, look, we understand the concern of the timeline in this case. We get the concern of that, but we are working as fast as we can, especially during these drought conditions.
Yeah, and I guess I bring that up because, a lot of folks in different parts of our viewing area are concerned about the drought, and, some cities are fining people for overusing water and not abiding by these restrictions. So it's, if you find somebody, or if you reprimand somebody for not abiding by these restrictions, you as a company or you as a city or a town should follow the rules as well.
And that's the point here, I think, ultimately. And look, Charlotte Water told us this was a complex leak. I don't know. I'm not a plumbing expert. Yeah. My grandpa was a plumber, but that didn't translate down to me. So we went out there, and we could see the water leaking. There was a vault. We looked in the vaults. Mm-hmm. The water was leaking. We could hear the water leaking. We could see it. Now, they said that they had trouble figuring out if it was on the public or private side. Where this vault is, based on the maps that I've looked at, is a public right-of-way. So to us, it looked pretty clear-cut.
Yeah.
This was a leak that the city needed to fix. And they eventually did, and thank goodness they did. And, who knows how much water was wasted. But there are billions of gallons. I don't want to say wasted, because firefighting is not wasting water, right? Lost. There's billions of gallons of water in Charlotte lost every year. Mm-hmm. Because of these different things. And leaks, again, play a role. It's not all because of leaks, but leaks, we should be able to try and find once they're reported to us, people are trying to help, we should fix it as quickly as possible. And that's what they say they're doing. Again, the data shows in 2026 they're moving much faster.
All right, that's good news there. Nate, again, when can we catch your story? I want folks to get to watch it.
Yeah, of course. It's on tonight at 6 o'clock. You can see it right now, the web version of it on WCNC.com. If you ever have a concern that you feel like your bureaucrats or elected officials are not responding accordingly, you're not getting the results you need, we have a track record here of making impact, and we're glad in this case we could, especially because we're in a drought situation right now.
Nate does incredible work. I'll say it. Nate's never going to toot his own horn, but I'll say it. Nate Morabito doing the work for the people.
Appreciate it.
Nate, thank you for your time. Thank you for stopping in. Fascinating story there. Let's head to break.